Thumbstoppable, Best Practices for Social Media. Our presenter this afternoon is Gus Wagner, president and owner of the Rocket Group, an award-winning marketing and communications firm headquartered in Jefferson City, Missouri, that serves clients in business, politics, and government. Gus himself has experience from the White House to local city halls and from the Fortune 100 to one-person small businesses. He's also a 5-time certified social media strategist, a former chief of staff in the Missouri State Senate, and a retired national champion amateur hockey coach. with hundreds of thousands of posts appearing across social media platforms every second, what is your content doing to stop people from scrolling past it? Listen up, Gus has some answers. Welcome, Gus.
Thank you. Whoa, hello, that's loud. Can you hear me in the back? Can you hear me in the front? That's the real question. Who here can take a confession? Everybody? Yeah, here we go. I'm a lapsed Catholic, but I'm still glad to be here with y'all. And before I was lapsed, I wasn't very good at being a Catholic either, but I'm glad to be here with y'all, and I'm glad y'all are here in St. Louis. How many are you are from away? All right, great. Welcome to Missouri. Welcome to St. Louis. Spend some money while you're here. And I heard some conversations going on before we came up here. Sugar Fire is legit. If you're looking for a place for dinner, Sugar Fire Barbecue is just, I think it's, well, I'm turned around, so it's right around that way. It's right over there. You can probably smell the smoke. So we're going to talk about Thumbstoppable. And Thumbstoppable is a little plan that I came up with, a cute little name I came up with, which is to title Social Media Success. There's a lot of ways to do social media, and there's no right way. And there's no wrong way. But there's a lot of ways to hit obstacles that are going to impede your success, to reach your intended audiences. And the other thing that we have to consider too is these social media platforms change probably multiple times a day. Things have happened today that I'm not aware of. Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk, especially Elon Musk, I just saw, I'm gonna do this from memory. I just saw my slides aren't there. But anyway, those guys don't know everything that's going on at Facebook and Twitter X. It's happening with the actual platforms themselves. They don't know how, because they're so far above it. They're the faces of these giant corporations. But, doctor, do we have a diagnosis? Oh, who's praying for me right now? So Encore, Events That Transform, is, right? Who's here from the furthest point away? Who's in anybody from Alaska or California, Oregon? Much further than that? Nigeria. Where's Nigeria? Hey, welcome. Welcome. In Ireland? Oh, well, she can watch the tape where we're talking about her. Oh, great. Thank you. Thank you. So we're going to talk, again, Thumbstoppable. A little bit about me that's wasn't mentioned in the bio there. We work with large organizations and small organizations. We're from coast to coast, north to south, all across the United States, actually all across North America on a daily basis. And our content is reaching more than 1 million people a month organically on social media on behalf of our clients and their voices and their desires and their content. Additionally, we are spending about $1 million a year on social media advertising on behalf of our clients, and some of that's on ourselves and advocacy programs that we support. But so we're well versed in the things that are going on. We've been there since the beginning of social media when it first became open to the public. We ran some of the first international Twitter marketing campaigns on the platform, and have been there on Facebook since the day it became available to everybody. Who's got their phone in front of them? Open up your favorite social media platform. Just give it a couple scrolls. What kind of content are you seeing? You don't need to answer this out loud, but just make note of the content that you're seeing. Friends posts, advertisements, types of content, video, still images, links. By the way, speaking of links, did anybody open up LinkedIn as their favorite social media platform? I always ask that question and nobody's raised their hand yet. So we've got a lot of different types of content options these days. And the platforms are gearing success in the algorithms and in the news feeds towards video. And so the more video you can do, the more successful you're going to be. So long form videos would be an hour upload, a 90-minute upload. Short form videos would obviously be clips of that, 30-second clips, 60-second clips that you could pull out of those long-form videos. The graphics, link post, images are all pretty explanatory. The reels, the TikToks, the stories, that's where all the weight in the algorithm is being placed these days, or the various algorithms across the various platforms. They want that video content, and that's why, who opened up Facebook? Good, about half the room. That's why probably the second or third thing you saw in that scroll that you just did was suggested reels. Yeah, because they want you to watch those reels, that long form content and such. Something that does not succeed very well as the post itself on social media. Yes, you can make those posts, but as the GIFs or GIFs, the graphic interface format, cute little cutesy, quippy, jokey things. If you post those up as organic posts, those don't do very well at all. And by the way, I thought I saw a question, but if there are any questions, just shout them out. We can, I always love to go off on a sidebar tangent because I'd rather talk about what you all want to talk about than the things that I wrote about. So let's look at the worldview of social here for a second. 3.5 billion users, monthly average users on the platforms together across the world. It's about half the world, a little less than half the world. And you'll get copies of this slide, so you don't need to worry about getting great pictures and stuff, but I appreciate it. People are spending about 2.25 hours a day on social media altogether. Does that sound pretty normal for this room? Well, on average, of all those billions of users, that's how much they're spending on average. Most people are on more than one platform, and most brands are on more than one platform. Something we have to consider too is that every news feed, no matter the platform, every feed is different because you have followed 500 people or brands or voices or accounts, whatever you want to call them, 500 different than the 500 you have followed. You have different friends and family than she does, and so on and so forth. So it's just like a fingerprint, really. There are no two news feeds that are going to be exactly alike unless it was intentionally created that way. So each one of us, when we were scrolling a minute ago, saw different pieces of content. Social media is free. It's free to use. It's free to sign up. And I'm going to say that with the caveat that the news recently has come out that they might start charging for ad-free versions of Facebook and Twitter or X and Instagram and such. So save your $14 a month because that might be an option coming up soon. But social media is free like a dog. If somebody gives me a free dog, is that really a free dog? Or is it going to be 15 to hopefully 30 years of attention and investment and love and sweat and tears and emotion and so on and so forth, and dirty floors and dog hair binnies. My dog's name is Benny, so we call him dust binnies at my house. I was just thinking about all that, so excuse me while I cry. And as I mentioned, it changes every dang day. The social media platforms change so much because they're all trying to compete with each other, and they're all trying to stay ahead of each other. And at this moment, and for probably the last year and a half, every last one of them has been going out of their way to copy what TikTok has done. Again, with the emphasis on the video format, on the video type of content. So what are we talking about when we talk about Thumbstoppable? It's pretty simple. We just want to basically stop the scroll. We want to capture their attention. We're talking about creating, posting, managing, engaging, studying, and retesting social media content which will stop the scroll. Thumbstoppable. Did anybody in that last sample? Well, let's get your phones out again. And with that mindset, no cheating to pick the first thing to stop the scroll. But give it a couple scrolls and see what catches your attention. What's going to make you stop the scroll in this little bit? Brownies? Recipes. Food's always a good thing. One of the unwritten social media rules, never look at social when you're hungry. News. Hopefully vacations. Events. Animals. Nobody's saying commercials. Oh. Huh?
Acrylic tank that they're pouring a betta fish into.
Oh.
But it has a neat tree in it. See, isn't that neat?
Oh, cool. It's like you can't see it, but I'll describe it. It's a glass acrylic tank to put betta fish in, and it looks like it's got like a bonsai tree in the middle of it. So I would have stopped and looked at that, and I don't know anything about fish or keeping them alive. But when you think about all that stuff, think about what your competition is and all the feeds that your content is competing against. You're competing against my grandma's posts, her recipes. You're competing against the good times that people are having on their vacations at the wineries. You're competing against my puppy, pictures of my puppy, animals. That's Bennington. That's when we first got him. This is what he looks like now. He grew up too fast. They always do. Your competition is whatever the Cardinals aren't doing anything right now. They're playing golf on vacation. But whatever the Cardinals are doing here in St. Louis, you're always going to compete against that. You're going to compete against the politics, the news that's in the news feeds. You're competing against e-commerce opportunities, whether it's organic or paid advertising or content regarding people wanting you to buy the wacky t-shirt or the betta tank. And you're competing against whatever the Kardashians are doing today. And you're not just competing against one of these with your post about 10 a.m. Mass on Sunday, or the good works that you did during the week, or your visit here in St. Louis. You're competing against all of this with every piece of content that you post. But the good news is everybody's competing against all of this. Coca-Cola is competing against this just as much as you all are. But don't despair. Oh, this one's one slide ahead and this one's current, so I need to look over here. Your competition is everything, everywhere, at the same time, just like that movie that won the awards. Every voice that's out there posting on social, and especially on the real-time socials and in the video format socials, those folks are gaining more traction because they're using either favored content or favored tones, which the algorithm gives extra boost to. And those people are succeeding where maybe your content or my content is not succeeding. But don't despair. Catholic imagery, yay. I know my audience. Don't despair, because we're going to talk about Thumbstoppable, and y'all are going to leave St. Louis prepared to conquer the news feeds here with your content. So how are we going to make this change your life, your professional life, your personal life? Well, we have to look at the competition, know that competition. Who is it that your audience is also paying attention to? The people that you're trying to reach, or the audience that you've already built, your likes, your followers, etc. Who else are they listening to? Let's look at the content, and this is from Facebook's most recent quarterly report. And again, the PDFs will be distributed, and I'm going to step up here and look at this a little closer. Are there any cats in the room? I could use the laser? Okay. So And I'm going to use Facebook as the biggest source of example throughout this presentation because it is still the biggest platform, it's still the fastest growing platform, it's still the most successful platform in social media. So in the average news feed, this is where your content is coming from. 32.6% is your friends' content, what your friends are posting, their original content. 16.8% is made up of group content. Who's in a Facebook group? Awesome. Who has a Facebook group? Not as awesome, but great. So those of us who don't have a Facebook group, consider starting a Facebook group for your cause, for your activities, whatever segments you have, because these are very, very powerful tools on Facebook that they've developed, and it's allowed that group content to rise above, to rise above all these other forms of content that we see on the left-hand side. So as far as the other stuff, 11.1% is other, 18.8% is called unconnected. This is our suggested content that we're seeing in the Facebook feeds. That row of suggested reels, that row of suggested friends, the row of suggested content, et cetera. Those are, that 18.8% is that suggested content. Your advertising is going to be in the unconnected. So they're saying your unconnected is I'm trying to read. But anyway, yeah, the uncontacted there, and then your page followers and your friends resharing content. If you can get your friends to reshare your content, that gives extra weight as well. At 17% of the content of 17% of the newsfeed is your friends sharing other things, whether it be jokes or political screeds or the notice about 10 a.m. mass. Yes, of course.
So those stats are saying that the group content, content from a group appears in the newsfeed more than content from a page.
Correct. As far as that you have, yes.
It's only the pages you follow are only going to show up 3% of your page.
Basically, and that's reflected in your page performance itself on the organic. Whatever you're posting on your page, you're getting less than 5% organic reach. So if you have 100 fans of your page, you're reaching less than 5 people on average with every post that you make organically, unless your stuff is knock it out of the park awesome.
But
if you have a group that you've invited people to join that group, and those people are engaging in the group, and there's other conversations happening in the group other than what you as the group leader is posting, that content rises and in the Facebook algorithm and in the newsfeed itself. So a group, don't abandon your pages, because the other thing you can't do with a group is you can't advertise from a group. But you can advertise from a page if you've got an event coming up, et cetera, that you need to get that message out to more than your followers. So groups are excellent for communicating and building that true community, but the page is still the axis of professional communication on Facebook. Yes?
My question was pretty much the same as yours, but now that I hear what you're saying, I want to know, like, what would you... Thank you, Brian. What would you suggest, or what would somebody suggest, that, okay, we have a Facebook page, it's got over 2,000 followers, which I don't consider a lot, but because others have more, but if we want to do a group, would that be segmenting, like if we did a justice group, or I don't know what would, suggestions for a group that would be a niche audience, maybe. Is that what you're looking for, niche audiences?
Exactly. You're going, and plus it's going to have to be voluntary for that audience member to join that group. You can't bring those people into your group. All you can do is send them the link and ask them to join. So, but yes, it's perfect for segmenting your overall audience. If you have, I don't know, what do you, Sisters of St. Joseph, what do you have as far as different segments? Like, give me 3 different groups. Justice and peace, vocation, and charity? Mission. So you could have a Facebook group for each one of those from the Sisters of St. Joseph. And same at any of your organizations. Does that make sense?
Do we manage the thing, or let's say it's associates? Do we manage it, or does somebody in the associates manage it?
You can, you as the page creator, the page admin, could, yes, the answer is yes. But yes, as a group creator, you would be an admin where you can manage the group. You can also add admins into that group, additional folks who would have the power to create. And then if you opened up the group permissions to allow communication, people posting their own content within the group, whether that gets approved or is just allowed to be published, then the other people can publish within the group themselves, and it stays within that hub of your Facebook group. Yes?
So, thanks. So I look at it more, we have a Facebook page. I look at it more as I don't want to split things out because I want everybody to just follow one thing, and that's our page. I look at a group more like, oh, my book club has a group, and there's 20 of us in it, and I'm going to post when our next meeting is. But I don't want to manage a bunch of different groups because I want to know in one place what people are saying about us, what they're commenting, what their questions are, it's like your website. Everything you do, you should try to get them to go to your website as well and stay in your website and read what's on your website and stuff. I don't want them going off into little groups. So that's just
So how's that working out for you?
Well, we're small. We only have 2,200 followers. We probably, the most engagement we get per day on posts is probably 10 to 15 people, unless I'm posting a story about a sister and asking a question and asking people to participate or something like that. But if it's just a post that's like, spread the joy today, people are like, yeah, great. Like,
Right.
you know,
Right.
our commentary on what's happening in Palestine and Israel right now got a lot of hits. It depends, but I'd rather them just go to one place than a bunch of places.
So I'm going to answer what you've asked here and address what you've commented through this next slide, because what you did was a perfect segue, and I'm glad that we talked before this presentation to set this up. Does anybody know what this means? Who said that? Stand up and yell it.
What's in it for me?
Education, I'm about to tell you. That's what's in it for you. What's in it for me? Who is me in this question? The audience. Thank you to everybody who said it. She just happened to be sitting next to me, but I walked by. The audience. The audience perspective, you've got 2,200 people who have followed your page or liked your page for whatever reason. You're telling me that in a good day, maybe 15 people? I'm just saying 15.
300, 400, but
That's,
yes.
I'm not good at math, but that's really small. That's a very small number. No. That would be a mustard seed. Oh, never mind. Too much. Too much. All right. By putting it into the groups, by being able to segment into the groups, now you can talk to the people who are interested in mission or fundraising or or whatever, these different groups. And they're more likely to join that. One, because it's closed off. You can set the privacy controls and their actions aren't showing out to the rest of their Facebook friends. Two, because people with common interest are engaging in a group connected around that common message that they're very much interested in. And three, they're going to see the group post more in their organic news feed than they are the page post by the page. Does that make sense? Salute back to you. Yes.
So I have an example where I think a group worked very well for us, and I don't disagree with what you just said. I don't want to get into managing, 15 different groups in addition to the Facebook page. We're also very small. We have a loyal Facebook following, a little over 2,000.
And have fun with this stuff. Again, have fun. This is the audience is coming here for some fun, for some entertainment. You give them a little education, a little information along the way. but if you do it in educating or in an entertaining way, you're going to be much more likely to stop their thumbs during the scroll. Know the platform that you're on. I didn't ask this, maybe I should put this up front, but let's see who's on what. Who's on Facebook with their organization? Facebook page, okay. Facebook group. All right, 3 leaders, 3 trailblazers in this room with Facebook groups. YouTube channel. Cool, okay. LinkedIn page. Does that really work in religious communication? Any LinkedIn stories? Oh.
We have about 250 coworkers, employees on our Mother House campus, and it's the best way to get to them and have them tell the stories of how great it is to work with the sisters. So think about that.
Excellent testimonial. You got internal audiences as well as your external audiences. Very good point. I saw a hand back here. No, you. Yep.
We opened up our LinkedIn page. Well, we had one, but it wasn't used at all. So the point where we couldn't even get access to it. And then I came along in 2021, and that's when we implemented the LinkedIn, and it turned out to be really successful. We ended up getting like 400 or 500 followers pretty quickly, less than a year it took. So I'd say that's pretty successful. And I think a lot of people like to see not just like us promoting our gala, but also they like to see the social justice things. And that really drives engagement as well as clicks to the website.
Excellent.
Which I never thought that would correlate. I don't know.
Sure. Carondelet?
Boston, Sisters of St. Joseph of Boston.
She's with Carondelet, and your Sisters of St. Joseph in Boston? Great.
I found my job with the Sisters of St. Joseph of Carondelet on LinkedIn, so
There you go.
that worked out. And then it's also really helpful when your organization is doing stuff with other organizations. So we did like an interview with some sisters involved in Sisters Rising Worldwide, and they have a LinkedIn page, so kind of promoting each other on that is usually pretty helpful.
Excellent. How about TikTok? Anybody TikToking? How's that going? What are you doing on TikTok? Yep.
First up, we're not sisters.
Okay.
Yet,
Who's your organization?
the Congregation of Notre Dame in Montreal.
Okay.
And we're not sisters, so we can't talk about our religious life and so on. But we show what it is that we see at the Mother House. We try to connect with whatever is popular on TikTok, like things that make sense in the Mother House, and we showed whatever was unique there. And
Behind the scenes again.
well, yes, a lot of that, showing what's unique about our work environment, but also that also says something about the sisters. And our hope is that curiosity will attract people to just tag along and look at our website and other social media where we could put more informative content. But TikTok is all about being quirky and fun.
If you're considering TikTok, I don't know if you guys do this, but TikTok's very helpful, and they have their trending topics page. And you can sort that by geography and various interests and so forth. So if there's something in there that applies to your organization, you could cut a quick video and put that up on TikTok and jump on the trend. But you got to move quick on that kind of stuff. So we might not everybody here has those kind of resources, but something to think about. Any of these others on the right-hand column? They're jumping out for anybody? Any success stories you want to share? Okay. Yep.
On Instagram, we share just like the quotes. Oh, thank you. On Instagram, we share the quotes from the founder of the congregation.
Okay.
And we see that we get a lot of a different kind of audience than we do on our Facebook. And we get a lot of shares, so it works out.
That brings up a very good point. How many people are doing, or is anybody doing anything with inspirational quotes like you just said? That seems like it would be low-hanging fruit for most of us in this room. So that might be, again, using Canva, make it nice, make it consistent in your quote format, and posting that. I think you'll get some engagement on that type of stuff as well. better than Kim Kardashian's quotes. So let's talk about the audience real quick. You've got insights available to you on all the social media platforms, so you can see, how many are boys, how many are girls, how old they are, etc. But the one thing I wanted to draw attention to you most is, when are they on? When do you think your audience is most likely to be on? And here's a spoiler. The answer is going to be the same for everybody in this room. 6 p.m., 7 o'clock, yes. The prime time hours of television are still the prime time hours. We're just not watching television now. We're multi-screening with our devices, etc. Those people might have their TV on, but again, they're on their phone, they're on their tablet at the same time. And that's when you should be scheduling your content to post during those hours. Why? Because social is not a website. Social is a very fleeting a very quick tool for organic content. This is the shelf life for each of the most popular social media platforms. From about 6 hours on a Facebook post, there's always going to be exceptions, okay? A caveat, asterisk, whatever you want to say. There's always going to be exceptions, but for most content, you've got about 6 hours of life in your organic Facebook post. LinkedIn, about 24 hours. TikTok is basically instant, unless it catches and goes viral, which is, sidebar me on that TikTok conversation. We don't have time to get into all that. Instagram, 48 hours. Twitter, X, 15 minutes. Snap, again, is an instant shelf life. So this is why it's important to have consistency. It's why it's important to have a content calendar and know what you're going to do, et cetera, to get that content out there. And this is also why so few people see your content from your pages, is because it dies before it gets to them. Because if you're posting at 8 in the morning and the most likely the people are going to be on at 8 o'clock at night, well, it died 6 hours ago. The post went away and went to heaven, Facebook heaven. Fly high, etc. Has anybody switched their personal profile to a creator profile, digital creator profile, besides me, because my hand's up for some reason? Anybody? If you do, you have that option to do so if you just go to your settings. And the cool thing about that is it shows you your shelf life and your statistics on your personal content. If for no other reason you use it, you can get stats on what people are doing with your personal content, except for shared content. It doesn't publish stats on the shared content. Yes? It's for Facebook, yes. Yeah, personal profile. Digital creator setting on Facebook. So, and the numbers are interesting to see. The personal profile, shelf life and reach and engagement is going to be higher than your page as well. So if you want to cross those streams, which I don't recommend doing every day, but every once in a while is okay, but you want to get a little extra reach for your message out there and your personal friends or people who can engage with that content, then try that after you've switched to a digital creator profile on Facebook. Invest in yourself. Who's doing advertising? Here? Not very many of us. How's that going for you guys? What are you doing? Well, you're doing the books. You're selling the books.
We've worked with Facebook ads in the past, and we work with development to do a campaign at the moment. So. Okay.
Who else? Elizabeth?
Yeah, we have a podcast, and so we promote those every time a new podcast episode comes out. We're using advertisement for that.
Great. We actually do a lot of podcast promotion, same type of deal. It's been very successful for our podcast clients. So good for you. Somebody over here is doing ads. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry.
Discernment events.
Okay, I'm a layman. What's a discernment event?
Well, vocation events.
Oh, vocation event. Like hiring deals or?
No, like online. Most of them are online events or maybe retreats.
Oh, okay. Okay, and you're paying to promote that opportunity for people to attend that event. Okay. Excellent. That's gold content. Anytime you have who is it? Crondolette, you mentioned the jobs. In Boston, you mentioned the jobs on LinkedIn. Employment content is gold. People will share that stuff like it's going out of style. But just like it says on the screen, there is no better form of advertising than social media, because you could control it, you could have a low budget, you could have a high budget, et cetera, et cetera. It's $1 a day is the minimum on Facebook. So for $1 a day, you can reach more people than what you're doing organically with your content. Am I on time or over? Yes?
We have stopped using Twitter.
Good for you.
Due to the problems.
Yes.
And I'm just wondering your thoughts on that.
I think I just expressed that. Twitter, okay, all right, I'm amongst friends. Twitter's the devil. Twitter used to be incredible. Twitter used to be my favorite social media platform. By the way, Twitter was invented about 10 minutes west of here in Webster Groves, is where Jack Dorsey grew up. And on and on and on, you can look up that story. But Twitter has lost its way before Elon bought it, and now it's just, I guess it's a tax write-off or something, I don't know. It's the fastest I've ever seen somebody burn $44 billion. It's a shameless plug here. Again, you're going to get these slides, but if you're really interested in learning more about social, of course, feel free to reach out. You've got my contact information. And I'll leave these on the back table with Brian, but here's some handouts as well that I forgot to hand out. But the National Institute for Social Media is based in Minneapolis. Any Minneapolis, Minnesota people here? Go Twins. They have continuing online learning opportunities for social media, and it's just a great organization I wholeheartedly endorse. I haven't attended, but I know the people that put it together. I know the people that have graduated from these courses, and we've sent our employees through this. And it's very, very affordable as well. So National Institute for Social Media, if you'd like to have an ongoing, continuing education in this. And we're almost finished. Almost finished. Mass is almost over. As soon as we pass the plate, right? Huh? Thanks be to God. I was going to make a fried chicken supper dinner joke, but never mind. Pro tip. This is honest to God truth. We talked about going viral earlier. It's always going to be the goofy stuff. It's going to be something that you've spent 30 seconds doing. It's going to be something that you never thought that anybody would interact with or engage with, et cetera, that's going to go viral. And viral means a lot of things. It could go viral in your Facebook audience. People could be sharing it. It could blow up and go worldwide. You never can tell. The people are fickle, and they like what they like, and there's no way to predict virality in social media content. So just remember that when you're staying up late at night sweating what you're going to write about on Facebook tomorrow, it's always the goofy stuff that succeeds. So I wish you all the success in the world and being unstoppable, and I hope that you found this helpful. Some of the statistics being insightful, some of my jokes being halfway funny, some of just the learning opportunity and the sharing opportunity. Thank you for sharing your success stories. I do appreciate you all. I'll be here for a little bit after this presentation if you have questions, and enjoy St. Louis. Please do. Please do.